Well, good evening. It is Monday, July 8th, 2024, and I'm thankful that you have joined this evening to watch us. As you all know, that this is the Attaining Your Personal Best show, and we look at ways in which people have worked to attain their personal best. So we do have a guest that will be joining us in a few minutes, but as customary, we'll just take a few minutes to talk about a winning strategy that we want to review with you. So we'll put this back on the screen. And it's just a depiction for us to be mindful of all the people that make up our lived experience and the generations that they come from. And, there's what they call the silent generation, the baby boomers, the Generation X, the millennials, the Generation Z, and I'm sure there'll be other generations to follow. But again, each of those generations have had different experiences that have impacted them. And it's important for us to just recognize that we have to be mindful of. Sometimes I think our expectations are not realistic because people have not experienced what we have experienced, whether they're older and or younger. And so an example is technology. What was technology back at an earlier time and what technology is today? In some cases, what technology was last year is not what technology is now. As an example is artificial intelligence and what it can do. It's just, I was talking with someone about an app that I had seen that was an artificial intelligence app for students. And what you do is you turn the app on your phone and you just put it down in front of your professor who's giving a lecture. And then what it does is it turns that into notes and also turns it into a quiz. So based on what they heard the professor say, this artificial intelligence can develop a quiz based on the information that was shared, and it's done before the class is over. That is a whole different world of existence than people that were raised with IBM typewriters as their background and in their experience. So it's important for us to keep that in mind. That is the beauty that makes up what we consider our community and mankind. But it's also a challenge to keep that in mind, the impact that people's lived experience have on who they are as a person and what has made them operate the way they do. So again, it's important for us to keep that perspective in mind as we deal with each other. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get ready for our guest this evening. And I should have started out that I'd like to dedicate this show to an aunt who passed away earlier this morning, Attaining Christian, and someone that I love and admired. She was 95 years old and born in 1929. So again, when we think about their experience versus our experience, is a totally different experience. So I think it's ironic that tonight we have our guest is Christian Jaquez. And I just said, her name was Dolly Christian. I do not think there's any relationship because his first name was her last name. But nevertheless, I think God's a funny God. So I dedicate the show to her and to her life and her legacy. We have one of our programs that probably about 10 or 15 years ago we named after her. So it's called Dolly Christian House. So she'll always be connected to the work that we do, and her life will always impact a lot of people in the future as well. So without further ado, we give you Mr. Christian Jaquez. And why don't you describe yourself and tell the people about you. I did get from Nitsa your little sexy picture here from Facebook.
Oh my God! Can't believe you got that up there.
So I'm gonna flash it every 5 minutes. But but do talk a little bit about this last minute delivery at some point. But let me start with you. And how would you want to introduce yourselves to people?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, like Mr. Williams, Dr. Williams said, my name is Christian Jarquez. I'm 36 years old, originally from the Bronx, New York. I'm a proud father of 4 gorgeous boys, as you can see probably in my background this way.
Now hold on a second. I want to stop you here. You said gorgeous, not handsome. But was that deliberate?
My gorgeous boys, man.
Okay.
Anybody can take it how they want, you know.
I've been dying to say this phrase. It's probably not relevant, but I'll say no Diddy. When you say gorgeous, you don't mean it. Wow. But they do look very handsome as well as gorgeous. So congratulations. Thank you. How old are they?
My youngest is 8 months. That's Riley. Mm-hmm. Roman is 3 years old. Joshua is 12. Mm-hmm. And my oldest son, little Chris, is 14 years old.
Wow. Well, good for you. Mm-hmm. Good for you. I thought when you started with the R's, I thought all of them would have the R as their first name. So you only did 2 of them that way. So.
Nah. I was going through like a little pattern there, and then I was like, I gotta break it up a little bit. Yeah.
So again, Christian, you said you're 36, father of 4. Continue, if you don't mind sharing.
Like I said, from the Bronx, New York, born and raised, Spanish descent. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. My father's Dominican, my mother's Puerto Rican. And yeah, I just wake up every day with the daily focus of trying to always be a better me than what I was yesterday. That's what I try, you know.
So talking a little about this, I think I saw on the internet that you started this last minute delivery company last year, or maybe this year. But talk a little about your company and what it does and what makes it unique.
Yeah. Last Minute Delivery Corp has been going on now for 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 months now. What we do is we provide a service to the Lehigh Valley, whether it's moving, delivery, picking up scrap, removing debris like yard work, stuff like that. You know, anything that is aimed to make your life easier. That's what we do. Mm-hmm.
And what gave you this idea? What made you interested in wanting to do this?
Well, I used to work for Aaron's back in a couple years ago, and I used to do like the delivery portion and the install guy and all that. And one of the things that I took that was a positive thing from that job was the satisfaction of giving people or delivering to people their needs, you know, things that they need, like their TVs and stuff like that, TVs, bedroom sets, washer and dryers, things that people want, you know, that make them happy. And just seeing that satisfaction in their face, like, really made me want to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I was working at a trucking company before I started Last Minute. And I was like, you know what? I'm not happy here. You get what I'm saying? It was something I was doing 9 to 5 just to make ends meet, pay the bills, take care of home, basically. And the switch just went off on me, and I was like, you know what, man? It's time. It's like, you ever had that uneasy feeling of like you want to do something? Mm-hmm. And you procrastinate on doing it because you don't know how to start. You get what I'm saying? And that's what was happening with me. I've always had this dream of last minute delivery. I've always wanted to provide that service my way to the people of Lehigh Valley and surrounding areas.
Sure.
And so I was like, you know what? I looked for guidance and how to start, and I literally quit my job. I was nervous. I was like, you know what, man, I went in one day. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna. I appreciate the opportunity that you guys gave me, but this is not where I want to be. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I respectfully quit my job. I've been hustling with Last Minute now for going on 6 months.
Mm. So one of the things that I hear you say is that you seem to be excited about helping people, like you're gifting back to them their own gift. Like they have garbage, you remove it. They want a television that they purchase, but you're going to make sure it gets there. So you're just making sure that the stuff that they've gifted themselves, you're like re-gifting it and giving it back to them with a level of dedication, a level of concern, a level of compassion,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that it's okay for them, and it's a pleasant transaction. And Christian, I say that to you because I think it's important for us to think about, like, where did that desire come from? Because that's not what everybody's interested in doing. But that's something you seem like you're really interested in doing, is really trying to make sure that whatever you got, I'm going to make sure you got the best of it. And if you want to get rid of it, I'm going to make sure it's gotten rid of correctly. But that whole correctness about the whole transaction seems to be something, that's important to you. What did Nietzsche write here? Nietzsche says he's being humble. His ability to go up and beyond, above and beyond. He put together furniture without question, no charge. Okay, I need to call on you. You do work and you don't.
What I did for Nitsa was we delivered furniture, and one of the pieces of furniture was a fireplace TV stand, and I have the impression that it's gonna come all together from the furniture splat. So I'm going and I'm picking up the stuff. And as I'm loading, I'm seeing they're bringing her sofa in, and I'm like, okay, cool, this is all put together. And when I see this big box, I'm like, it's like a flat box. It's not like an actual TV stand shape. So I'm like, okay, cool, this is gonna have to be put together. So I get to Nitsa's house. We start with the sofas. We bring everything in real nice. Everything, we'll set it up, put it exactly where she wanted to go. I usually charge an additional charge to put furniture pieces like fireplaces from scratch together, because that's time, and time is money. So I told Nitsa, I was like, you know what? Because we were both provided the wrong information from the furniture store. We were told, like, hey, it's gonna be put together, and all you gotta do is bring it in. So I'm seeing a million pieces in this box, and I'm like, wow, this is going to take me some time. So I called my other customer that I'm supposed to be at after Nitsa's, and I told her, look, I'm going to be a little late because I have to take care of this customer. So they're fine with it and everything like that, And I start putting the stuff together. Nitsa's like, she's surprised, because she's like, she didn't think I was going to put it together. I'm like, Nitsa, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to put a smile on your face. And if I put a smile on your face and I completed the mission, which is to deliver your furniture, I'm happy. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes...
Christian, let me ask you this. Do you know why that's so important to you? Like, where did that come from? That level of satisfaction and comfort is so important for you to witness and to be able to provide. There has to be a reason why that's important to you. Do you know what that reason is for yourself?
I try to put myself in the other person's shoe.
Yeah, but I'm asking you a deeper question. Is why is that of concern to you? Why do you think you worry about that? That's important to you. Why do you think you're putting energy into that? There has to be a reason why that's your business model.
For me, it's I don't know. I've always been like that since a kid.
Did you ever see anyone like that that really left an impression on your life? Was that mom, dad, an uncle, grandparent? That you had to. You can only do what you know. You could have. You only had to. You have to take the book out so you can read it. So you would have had to have witnessed it happening or not happening. So you could have been something you saw or something you wanted to see.
Nah, nah. It wasn't from my mom, my dad, or anything like that. Uh, that drive to want to please others always came from how I always wanted to be treated. You get what I'm saying? I treat others the way I want to be treated.
Okay,
So
but there you go. That may be it.
that,
You're giving the treatment
mhm,
that you wanted to receive.
most definitely, most definitely, and that's my main goal. That's worth to me more than what the monetary money is. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you're happy, you're gonna refer my business to other
But
people. You
but
get what
look at
I'm saying? Word of mouth.
look at an example. When we started offline, you had said you never did a podcast, but the podcast came from Nitsa, who you didn't charge money. So, but hopefully, this is a platform that you'll be able to use. If anyone ever says, "Hey, you want to know what I do?" Well, here's a link to a YouTube channel where I did a short podcast and I talked about my company and why I do what I do. So, and some people would say that that could be worth a couple of $1,000,
Mhm.
free advertising. So again, I think what's important is to understand your model works, and it's not just in the money you receive in your hand, but it's the goodwill that you establish among people. Because the good thing about Nitsa is she talks, and she talks a lot, so she'll be telling. But I am a little bit concerned about something you're sharing. I've been trying to get Nitsa ready to move into a nursing home. So to hear that you're putting in fireplaces and furniture and setting up the house, I've been trying to tear it down. So I realize you're the enemy, actually.
I don't
Um,
think she's going anywhere.
uh, Thanks a lot. But I too am happy to hear that she's making herself comfortable
Mhm.
and making that home for herself, because at times it's been somewhat of a challenge. So I'm really glad to hear she's doing it, and she has people like you around that are able to to help her to do that.
Yeah.
What is it, as you started this new business, something you've learned now that you would have hoped that you would have learned before? What has been a hard knock about running a business that you didn't know that you now know, that you would want other people who are trying to do this to keep in mind?
Just get to it. Everything is a first step. If you don't take that first step,
Mm.
you're never gonna know what's good for you. You're never gonna know what would have been. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I think where people are are scared is they don't know the first step. They don't know where to begin.
Mhm.
And seek guidance. Get together with people that are like-minded as you and can guide you in the right directions. People that are willing to take a minute out of their busy life
Mhm.
and hey, let me give you some guidance. Let me sit down with you. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And I
Mhm.
guarantee you that you sitting down with those people and absorbing what they have to what they're the knowledge they're giving you is
Mhm.
gonna give you the drive to want to take that first step. And once you take that first step, it's to the moon.
Sure.
That's where we're going.
That's good. And
Hmm.
so, what are some of your goals when you say last minute delivery? It sounds like you're doing so much more than just delivery. It's you're so when you think about your model going forth, is there stuff that you want to add to it, that you want to do more of?
Hmm.
What do you see as part of? And again, I'm glad you said Lehigh Valley and surrounding areas,
Hmm.
because I could just see it with your model that it could grow in lots of different places. So not just the Lehigh Valley. But what are your plans for the future? How do you see um, how do you see yourself scaling up?
Well, I'm here in the Lehigh Valley right now. I'm starting with we right now have one 14-foot box truck, and a pickup truck that we use for little deliveries, like a single item or something like that, like a stove or something. We use the little pickup truck. My goal is to obviously grow. I want to expand. I want to provide more opportunities to individuals who are stuck, and these workplaces nowadays that don't want to give people a second chance. I want to be that workplace to give people a second chance. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
People make mistakes. We've all been there, and I believe in change. You get what I'm saying? And some places won't hire you because of your background and stuff like that. I don't want to be like that. I want to be the workplace that gives people that have had issues in the past a second chance. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
And I hear you. You say that it's a second chance, and I think again something you've communicated very clearly is it's a second chance to get it right. Because I think when you do your deliveries, you want to get it right, and so again, I think that's the piece. Is again, you may have gotten it a little bit off-centered in the beginning, but if you give it another day, you can get it right.
Yeah.
As we get ready to wrap up, Christian, is there anything else you want to talk about, highlight regarding how you've been working on attaining your personal best?
My personal best, man. Honestly, I just try to keep a positive mindset day to day. I wake up every day. I thank God, for a brand new day. That's my first and foremost. There's people nowadays don't wake up the next day. They don't have that blessing. And I'm extremely grateful for being able to wake up every morning to put my best foot forward, provide for my family, and to help the people around me. Because at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. I'm out here. Not only, obviously we're out here. The goal is to make money. Is to expand and do stuff. But at the same time, I want to help people. That's my end game.
Yeah. And it seems like what you're trying to pass on is some goodwill, and some people would say you're actually passing on love.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Good.
We live in a world full of hate. Unfortunately, we got some wrong going on in the world, and if I could be that little ray of peace, and let's all just come together and let's do something positive. Why not? If I can help you,
sure.
Why not?
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody help me.
Right.
So I just want to pay it forward.
Good. Well, Christian, I commend you on what you've accomplished, and I'm excited to watch what's going to lie ahead. And again, if you have needs out there drumming up, business and for you, you're good shape. But again, she recognizes that you're a good man and a good person. And again, we want to encourage you to keep being that good person. So thank you so much for coming on, and let's try to get together in 6 months to a year just to hear how this journey of this new business and this model that you have and how it's going. I don't want this to be once and done. So I'm sure Nitsa will circle back to get you back in to give us an update in the near future.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure, my pleasure. Wow. What a decent person doing really important work. And what's important is how he's doing it. He's doing it with love and compassion. And that's as he said, something sorely needed in the world we live in. All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching tonight's show. We'll be back again next Monday. I think that's the 15th. And we'll see you then. Till then, take care.